everybody doing today? This is Miss Zap with Straight Talk, and we are getting ready to do some straight talk today. I thought that I would have two guests to go, two special guests today, but I do have one, and I have some special some special talk that we want to talk to you about today. I was getting ready to say, you bringing your stuff. Come on. We got all kind of doohickeys that we are setting up here because our special guest got this gorgeous red tie, and we want to be sure that he's able to see it. But first, walking into but you all know this is Miss Zep, right? With Straight Talk. You know that. But anyway, walking into the studio today, I am told that, I am told that we had another beating. Police.
Since it's hot news, I'm gonna come on your show with you and just read the text, the first text that I received. It says the guy named is Carlos Mullins from Durant, Mississippi. Chief Henderson beat him while in handcuffs.
Jesus.
There's a special call meeting today to place Henderson on administrative leave. The FBI and MBI has been in town all morning. The news media needs to know this. And then, now I didn't get this from the mayor. I didn't get this from anybody at City Hall, nobody in city government, but I got my little, my granddad used to call them stool pigeons.
Okay.
So one of my stool pigeons.
The people that sit by the door.
Yeah, one of my anonymous sources says the outcome was the meeting was at 3, Chief Henderson was suspended, and he showed up late.
Oh. Showed up late?
That's what my source said.
And he showed up late. Now, let me, I have this wonderful gentleman right here looking at me, and you know him, and you know he's a friend of mine, Dr. Percy Washington. We are going to talk to him today about upcoming Tuesday and his expectation for Tuesday, when we got this message that our police chief, again, we are in serious trouble already, and that our police chief, as you just heard, beat up a young man from Durant, Mississippi. And for those of you who do not know that Durant is also a municipality in the county of Holmes County, Mississippi. Durant, Mississippi is maybe 10 miles east of Lexington. You know that the Department of Justice has been our special guest for the last 2 or 3 years because of police brutality in the town of Lexington. in our town of Lexington, our police department has been found guilty. And yes, they have been found guilty, and they have been given the reasoning behind the findings, and here we are again in the middle near the end of an election for mayor, and we were critical of the mayor and of the aldermen during the time that the brutality was so bad. And they did not see, as the mayor has said, she has no regret about anything that happened under her administration. Of course, she is not running for mayor this time around. She is supporting the mayor chosen, a person that it is alleged that she is choosing to take place and give money off. So this is what I want to say. If you want the same, now obviously, DOJ and the feds are in town again concerning this brutality that happened. And our mayor has been terminated, suspended. Don't know if this is a temporary suspension or a permanent suspension, but we know, here we go again. That tells me that the powers that be in Lexington, Mississippi, don't give a doggone about the medical. Don't care. We will continue to do that. You know why we continue to do it? Because we have the powers that be that back City Hall. They have nothing him. But if Miss Robbins know him and is campaigning for him, that tells you something. This is just too bad. I'm so sorry that this has happened again in Lexington, Mississippi. So y'all, we will be in the news again for police brutality. And we do this because we think that we can get away with it. So either we just don't say anything as elected officials of Lexington, Mississippi, or we do nothing. Well, we know one thing. We know Robin McCory didn't say nothing, and she has not done anything. Now, I don't care. I'm just going to say this. I don't care how many soda pops and how many bags of potato chips Miss Robin buy for your children. Take them and vote for your own self-interest. I've seen Blackfoot out campaigning for Miss Robin. I've seen you out campaigning. You ought to be ashamed. You just really ought to be ashamed. Now this comes up right in your face. Now what do you say? Now what do you say? You say it's a lie? What do you say? Will this affect your vote? What do you say? It's okay that we live like this. It is not okay, y'all. It's not okay. Look, I just had to talk about that. I just didn't think that we would ever show our ugly face that we have shown over the past several years again. And here we are, that just saying, I don't care. They can't do anything for me. They can't do anything with me. So what? Please. Let's do better. We got to do better on Tuesday. Now, really. We just got to do better. We got to do better. How you doing, Dr. Washington?
I'm doing fine, considering the most recent news piled on top of issues we've had to deal with over the last couple of years. Most recently, coming this close to elections and people campaigning.
We just lost our mind. If we could just do it this close. Well, you know, seems like to me we try to do our very best. But this close. And this is the truth. There was a meeting, y'all, today at City Hall.
I went to the meeting.
Oh, didn't you? Tell us about the meeting.
Well,
This is Dr. Percy Washington, and we know that he is running for mayor of the Lexington, Mississippi, and he has just mentioned that he was at the meeting today at the Lexington City Hall when all of this, now he was preparing to come here to talk about his candidacy, but this is a part of his candidacy. But he went to that meeting, and he is going to tell us.
Well, I went to the meeting to be.
How did you know that this crime had happened?
Well, I really didn't know any of the details, and the details that you know basically are the details that I know. A source let me know that they heard that there was an emergency meeting called for the city council and the mayor
of Lexington,
Mississippi. Asked if I knew about the meeting, and naturally I did not know about the meeting. So I went to City Hall and asked if there was a meeting. They said yes, in the front office, because when I went to the council room, they were in there. No one was in the foyer of that area. I went back to the front office and asked if they were in a meeting. And they said, yes, the meeting just got started. I went and opened the door to go in, and I was informed by the mayor, we're in executive session. I backed out and had a seat in the foyer area as we normally do when they are in executive session. Sat there and sat there and sat there until the mayor and the city attorney walked out and went to her office.
City attorney meaning
Catherine Riley.
Catherine Barrett Riley.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So they were in the mayor's office there a while, and the mayor didn't say anything to me, but the attorney, she spoke, and naturally I spoke. They went in and they were in there for a while. I sat there in the foyer. They came out and went back into the council office area for a while. They came out and said nothing. Finally, the two of the city council persons came out and said nothing about the meeting.
Or results of the meeting or what had happened?
They said nothing to me about the meeting. They spoke. They kind of had a little side conversation as they came out between the two of them. Later on, another council person came out, and very cordial, we spoke. I did not ask questions, because the law is that you have an executive session, then
you have to come back
you
and
have to come
say
out and
what the
let
results
the public
was.
know what the results was.
Yes.
But they didn't inform me of anything. Then the city clerk came out, and she just walked from the council room to her office. And that was how it went. So I don't have any details other than what you just shared.
Are you? Let me understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Was the police chief in the meeting? Did you see?
I did not see him at all today.
Okay, you did not see him, but they were in the meeting.
They were in the meeting.
The Mayor Robin McCrory,
and 4 of the city council persons.
And 4
yes, ma'am.
Of the city council
and the
persons,
city attorney.
And the city attorney and the
city clerk. Yes.
Were present.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, 4 is a quorum.
Yes, ma'am.
And so the mayor announced to you that this was
They
a
were
closed
in
meeting. They
executive
were in an
session.
executive session.
Yes, ma'am.
That in itself means you cannot be a part of that meeting. But at the end of the executive session, the mayor, by law, is supposed to come out and announce what the results of the executive session was. I'm understanding you to say that that did not happen, that the mayor did not make such an announcement. Did the city attorney Barrett Riley made no such announcement, public announcement, had to be made to the public, and that the 4 aldermen made no such public announcement, and nor did the clerk, the city clerk.
That is correct. No person, the mayor said nothing to me. On the way out, the city attorney was very nice and cordial. She offered me good weekend. Hope I had a
Okay.
good weekend.
Okay.
And I expressed the same to her.
And let me jump in and say, Ms. Zepp, I called the mayor and asked a question about the results of the meeting, and my response was, I can't comment on that at this time.
Oh, she can't comment on a public meeting at this
He is
time.
my witness.
So the question is to us, is this what we want to continue with?
That's a good question.
I'm
That's a very good question.
you know, I mean, whether or not we can just run our city any kind of way.
that's what the
We don't
Justice
have to
Department-
follow rules.
That's what the Justice
We don't
Department-
have to follow the law. We don't have to. We can just do anything we want to do, like Donald Trump,
and don't have to give you any explanation.
and don't have to give you an explanation.
Yes.
You have to come out and tell us, what were you talking about? You work for us. We don't work for you. You work for us. If we want to know, you must. And I can't imagine that the attorney, the city attorney, and Miss Catherine
Right.
Barrett Riley is also the county attorney. And you mean to tell me that the attorney herself didn't say to Miss Mayor, you got to say something. The attorney that's sitting with you need to tell you, you have to make some kind of announcement as it relates to this closed session. And the attorney didn't feel like they all broke the law. Attorney Barrett broke the law when she didn't advise you. And we paid Attorney Barrett. You advise your client, the mayor, that she has to say what went on behind closed doors.
Well,
And nobody,
if she advised the mayor did not follow her advice.
if
that
she
be the case.
advised her,
If she advised her.
well, she needs to say that. Then the attorney needs to say, I know the law. I advise my client what the law is and how she must respect it. It was her choice not to make a public comment concerning the behind closed door meeting. Now that is just bad. It tells us that the mayor certainly does not respect us. It tells us that our attorney does not respect us. There's no respect. I'm talking about the people. That's what I'm talking about. We run this, and we don't really have to say anything to you about what it is we do.
That was
the
response today.
That is the response. That simply means they need to go to the House. Yes, Mayor, you really do need to go into the House. Attorney, if this is the best you can do, you need to go to the House too. We don't need an attorney that is not respected. If you did try to get a public statement, but if your client, the mayor, doesn't respect you enough to follow your legal instructions, then we don't really need you we don't need you either. You need to go to the House. That's all. You just need to go to the House, and that's just the bottom line. So let's.
But the other point I make, none of the council people.
The point. None of the talk about the council people.
They have a responsibility to inform the public as well.
Yes, they could have.
And
they could have.
None of them chose to do that, and of course I consider my position as part of the public. I
need to go to the House. Look,
and it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Know.
And they are elected individually.
They are,
and they're running for election right now.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't need Mayor Robin to tell you to say what your duties are. You do it yourself because you are an elected official yourself. You don't have to. So if the mayor doesn't, so if the attorney doesn't, you can do it yourself.
Yes.
So it looks like to me that just about everybody who was at the meeting, and I know y'all gonna talk about me, but need to go to the House. If you can't do any better, you absolutely need to just hang it up.
Well, the Justice Department has said that we have a history here in our government of not following the law.
That is true.
Intentionally breaking the law. And even when it has been brought to their attention, they continue
to do it.
To break the law.
Yes.
The citizens of Holmes County, particularly in the city this time, have a golden opportunity, June the 3rd, to say enough
is enough.
Is enough.
And make a change.
And make a change.
That's correct.
so that the government that is intended to be in place to serve the people will serve the people
Actually do what
and not
it is.
mistreat the people.
That is correct.
And that's what the Justice
We
Department.
have say that again. We have an opportunity
This is a golden
right around the
opportunity.
corner.
This is a golden opportunity now to say enough is enough. We can do better. We shall do
Do
better.
better, and we will do better.
We are the citizens. They are the servants. And they are to serve us because we select them to represent our best interests. As opposed to them being in position to dictate to us, to violate the law, to satisfy whatever their own individual interests may be, and by their actions say, I don't have to explain anything to you.
I don't have to.
And the law said, but you're supposed to. I don't have to follow
But I don't have to follow the law.
the law.
And that's exactly what they said
So when
today.
there is no action that says that we are now coming out of executive session, if a public person is there to hear what the results was in the executive session, by law, they are supposed to forward that information to the public.
That is
And
correct.
when
That doesn't happen.
it didn't happen,
Doesn't mean they're
Particularly
still in
today.
executive session. What does that mean to them?
that's a good question. But the action says what it says. We don't have to tell you
We
anything.
don't have to tell you anything.
Yeah.
So how is it that we know that we don't have an active police chief right now? A little bird told us.
It's amazing how information can get out. And God has a way of getting information where information should be gotten.
That's right.
And different sources who, for whatever the reason may have been, the conscience or understanding their legal responsibility, put the information in a place, in such a place that even I got it. And asked me if I knew about a special meeting at City Hall. Now, I said no. And they said, well, you might want to go to see. And I went to see what the meeting was all about. And we've shared what the results was, that whatever it was, they continue not to follow the law.
You guys, do you see how kind and professional Dr. Washington is talking to us? You know, he ain't talking nothing like Miss L. Because I will lose it in a minute. But he is Dr. Washington. He is the person that we need to get us out of this barrel, this embarrassing barrel that we're in. He is respected, and we need to do the right thing for us. I do not vote for candidates for the candidate. Never have. I never did. I do not vote for the candidate for the candidate. I vote for the candidate for me. I want to know how the candidate will make my life better. It doesn't matter whether I like them or don't like them.
Yes.
What will this person do to make my life better? Is the question. I don't want no little bag of chips, Dr. Washington. I don't want no soda. I don't want no beer. I don't want no $3. What is that? And that's what I always talk to my folk about. What is it that this person can do for you? And then if you look back, what did this person do for you? Is your life better? Because this person has been in the seat for 16 years. How is your life better? That's
And
the question.
share the fact, from their perspective, they have no regrets of anything that was done or
And
not done.
sad, I don't have no regrets
Whatever
of
happened,
anything that has happened
you can take
or
it or
didn't
leave it.
happen.
You can take
You
it.
can take it or leave it.
I'm proud of my
I'm
record.
proud of my record. Look at, so Pecan Grove,
One example.
one example. 16 years, Pecan Grove. How is it better for you? How is it? She said she could care less, really. I've done what I've done, and I'm proud of what I did, or I'm proud of what I didn't do. Please.
And now that I'm retiring, from
And
her
now
perspective,
that,
this is who I want to
this
continue
is who,
what I've been doing.
now that I'm retiring,
This is
I want my legacy.
this is my choice.
This is my
to
choice.
continue doing or not doing.
Someone that you don't know. You don't know. But someone that our mayor chose for you. But look around you. Look around you. So don't sit at home on Tuesday. Get up and go vote early. Remember what your mayor said. She is not embarrassed about nothing she did or didn't do. The United States government came here and say you are guilty, mayor, council, police. These are the ways you are guilty.
They said that you are guilty of mistreating poor people and
black people.
black people.
That's what they
That's
said.
the report. And they said that they have a pattern
of doing that.
of not only doing that, but letting other folk go for committing crimes that were more severe than the people they locked up in jail.
That is correct.
That's what the Justice Department
The
said.
Justice Department said it.
But we have
They
no
just
regret.
didn't say it. They found proof that it happened.
They have videos,
Video.
conversations,
They
evidence.
wrote around evidence. You are guilty of taking advantage of poor folk, black folk, poor black folk, old people. And yet, Miss Robbins says she does not feel any ways embarrassed about her record. What do you say? And what will you say come Tuesday? There's an issue there is an issue. Now, that has come to my attention, and I'm very glad that I'm speaking to you. It came up in the county board's meeting. The question was asked, because the question had asked me about the use of the election central office building uptown Lexington. The building, well, it's a part of the Barrett complex, and it is a building that is leased by the county board to run our elections. The question was why was the city of Lexington using that election central office building to count or handle votes in June, the absentee ballots. And I have been told that the city does not have enough space. There's not enough space nowhere in the city of Lexington where absentee ballots could be organized, handled, so to speak. So they will be using that building, the Electric Central building, which is a building for the Holmes County Board of Supervisors. I asked them, the board president, Ms. Mabry, I spoke to her directly. She said she was not aware of that. And I said, well, how can you not be aware of it? Because if there is an agreement for the city to use your property, it's got to come to you. I mean, you got to know that. And but she was going to find out the truth of that matter. Number one, was the city using the election central office right there on the corner, the Barrett building, and did they know it? My simple question was why? It just doesn't look right to me that it doesn't look right that the city would be using that space when that building is owned by the city attorney
and the county attorney.
And a county attorney. You can't tell me that no other spot in town could be found. See, because how do you know the bill? Now, this is what I was told by the clerk, the city clerk of Lexington. the votes will not be counted there. The votes will be counted everywhere they have always been counted, which is at City Hall. That's where people vote. That's where the votes will be counted. Okay. What is it's going to happen with the it called the election,
the
resolution board.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure I know what the resolution board is, but it's a board of 3 people: Miss Fran Thurman, Nikki Nichols, and Gwen Ross. This was 3 people. It's not like it's 30 people. And you can't find space. But it looks suspicious that before the absentee ballots are put in the bucket and taken over to be counted, they would have already been handled. It's suspect. The clerk said, well, it's public. If people want to go in and watch, they can. But people might not know that I can go in and watch. But what you couldn't find space for 3 people to go and organize. She said, like organizing. This go to this beat and that go to that beat. I just thought because I thought it wasn't. I thought Mrs. Mabry was right. She said that didn't happen because she did not know that was. But that is exactly it. And I would hope that candidates would have their folk in that building. Because if I am going to, I said if I'm going to manipulate votes or manipulate absentee ballots, that's where I would have manipulated them, right there at that building. You understand? That would be an issue for me. For the county attorney, the city attorney owns a building, and this is where we're going to deal with the votes. Just doesn't seem right. You were going to say.
Well, a couple of things on that. I was informed that it was recommended that the resolution board hold that session in the same session in the city hall where the voting takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else, whoever that somebody else is or they are, decided that it would be held in that the election commission's building, which is owned by that law firm.
Owned by the law firm.
Right.
Now, they haven't been using that building. See, as my dad would say, there's a cat on the line. I smell a dead rat. That, I know for 3 people, you could find space in order to organize your ballots.
My other information is that they plan to count the ballots
in that building.
And when they count the ballots, they will post the results of their count on the wall in the place where they count and take that to the city hall
Oh.
to add that To the final count.
The final count.
Yes.
No, Miss Mabry, Mr. Young, Mr. Wilson, all of y'all who might be listening to me, I smell a dead cat on the line. It is time for you to say you can't use our building for that. I mean, because if I am inclined to steal or manipulate votes, that's the place where I'm going to do it. Right there with the resolution board. I'm looking at some of the people on this board. I know some of them are Robbins people. Some of these people here are Robbins people. It just doesn't look right. Y'all got until Tuesday to try to fix this. Go to the city. Go back to City Hall or wherever space they got. Use the bathroom, and they but 3 people. Okay, we got. I did want to bring that, but if it does not work out, then we have to have some folk there looking over somebody's shoulder. But I'm going to say to the mayor, the alderman, and to the county board, it just doesn't look right.
Real quickly, what we have been
And
informed
then, go ahead.
is that because the ballots were not, official ballots were not printed when they sent the absentee ballots out, they sent sheets out reflecting the ballot. So the resolution board members will have to transpose the vote from the sheet to the Scantron sheet so that
Lord.
the Scantron sheet will go through the Scantron machine. So it lends itself for a lot of questions, but the advice I was given to make sure we have people there to watch it, and I hope they allow us to sit close enough or stand close enough.
That's correct.
So that we can see exactly if they're going to move a count from one ballot, mark from one ballot to the transfer sheet.
Yes.
That we'll know it's going to the
that
right
you
place.
will know, that hope that you will know. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go. But I did want to bring that up. That's an issue. And that would never happen in any place other than Lexington. It just wouldn't happen. So the resolution board, look, y'all, it just doesn't look right. County board, it doesn't look right. Miss Mabry, you should have known by this. You said you didn't know if this was happening. Well, if I know it should happen, I know you should know this is just not kosher. It's not kosher now. But this is Lexington. And these are folks. Look, this has been misled. My manager has come to the window about 5 times and said, stop talking. Dr. Washington, thank you for coming. Thank you for talking to us today.
Let me say thank you so much for having me. I sure appreciate Congressman Thompson, his support,
Oh,
because
that's
we
my
work.
friend.
And
Look,
thank you.
You gotta
June
say
3rd,
something.
June 3rd is
June the 3rd.
Let's make the difference.
Let's make the difference. This weekend, for those hot places, Pecan Grove, look,
Schoolhouse Bottom.
Schoolhouse Bottom, all of y'all, let's show that we can do better. That we don't want your beer, we don't want your potato chips and your soda. We're gonna do what's best for us this time. And Mr. Man who got beat up, I'm so sorry but that lets you know that we're not gonna change. Look, this has been Miss Zeb. I'll talk to you the next time. Maybe you will hear me on Instagram again on tomorrow, again on Tuesday, and Facebook again on Sunday, and you will hear Dr. Washington again on Sunday at 1 on the radio, as well as anytime you want to on Facebook. So we'll talk with you the next time.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Ms. Deb. Tune in next time for information, education, and inspiration on Straight Talk with Ms. Deb here on the People Station.
Straight Talk with Ms. Zep is a paid program, sponsored, hosted, and paid for by Minister Zelpha Montgomery Watley, also known as Ms. Zep. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of the owners, the staff, the management, or any other sponsors or advertisers of Power 102.5 FM WAGR and Praise 1000 AM